Hey everyone, Coach Dave March here for another episode of the Growth Mindset Podcast. And I'm your host, David March. If you don't know, I'm the author of the book Vision and Action, and I bring on new guests here every week, talk about their visionary leadership, talk about their innovative businesses. And today we have a special guest, Juan. Juan is the CEO of Human Intelligence. He has a company where he is transforming coaching, leadership, and team cohesion, um, team collaboration. And so, Juan, why don't you introduce yourself to the people here?
Hi, thanks for having me, Dave. Yeah, so I run Human Intelligence. We have an AI coach that's transforming those things called Ask Aura. And so imagine an agent that you can ask any question about a person, about a team, about culture, collaboration, engagement, and get an answer. Kind of like Ask Jeeves from back in the day. It's now just Ask Aura, kind of like ChatGPT, but around people's personalities. So happy to be here today.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. This, you know, talking about, the trends that are going on right now, AI is one of the biggest trends. Everybody's talking about it. Some people are a little scared that it's going to take over. And particularly for the, like, let's say the coaching industry, are you hearing from people are saying, oh, well, is this going to take over me as a coach, or how are you responding to that one?
Yeah, there's three ways I'll describe the answer. Um, Generally, for users of a product like our Ask Aura AI Coach, um, all employees one day will consume psychometric instruments, so basically personality tests and all those things like DISC and predictive index and strength finders, through a platform like ours, where they just ask questions and the data gets answered by a coach that's virtual versus a real person. And so it does not replace people as users, it enhances them, right? AI today either replaces people, right, or makes processes better. We're neither of those. We are actually just making everyone a better version of themselves. Hence the logo being a butterfly. They transform and metamorphosize into better versions of themselves. That's for the user. Two, for coaches, it will make coaches better. Just like Salesforce brought data to the sales function, and you couldn't be good at sales anymore without data, and now Salesforce and CRM. A coach won't be good unless they can quickly get up to speed on their clients, on their executive leadership team, on the teams they're coaching. And this tool much more quickly helps them with all the analytics around understanding a client, understanding a team, and getting insights on how better to coach them, how to personalize coaching. And it then allows them to not just coach one or two teams at a large company. They can leave this behind and impact 10,000 employees. Today, coaches can only impact, let's say, 3 teams a month. Now they can impact 30,000 people a month. So it really transforms coaching to a scalable model where they also don't have episodic revenue of once a month. They actually now can get ARR or software revenue in perpetuity and go deeper and penetrate clients. And then lastly, the function at large companies called talent development, talent management, leadership development, learning, chief learning officers, CLOs, L&D, they are being transformed by AI in this manner, because now instead of hitting only 5% of employees with psychometric tools that get used once a year and never again, they can now hit all employees, 5, 10, 20,000 people in a week, and get usage of 20 times a month or 240 times a year. So AI, complete transformation of the value of psychometrics. I like to say we're the Uber of what did to taxis in the world of psychometrics.
Yeah, psychometrics is definitely very interesting to me. I've always liked the ideas around personality type. There's been something that's very interesting to me. Um, you know, I I've gotten into myself the Myers Briggs, David Kiersey specifically, where he has a book called Please Understand Me, and he talks about temperament. You familiar with the temperament and David Kiersey's work at all?
Well, it's funny you say that. So I went to Wharton Business School for my MBA, and Adam Grant, a great professor there, talks a lot about the similar things that Kiersey talks about. And Adam Grant once said at a big conference I was at, everyone needs a user guide at work to understand others and to understand their teams. Can you imagine if we all got that user guide, how much better and more effective we would be? So Kiersey's work, Adam Grant's work, we've actually built the platform to deliver on the vision and the concept that both those researchers believe in.
Wow, that's huge. Yeah, you know, Myers-Briggs is good and everything is cool, but David Kiersey really made it happen, I feel, because he was a researcher that really brought I mean, thousands of years of study in this field, and brought it to today. You know, there's so much. I mean, they dedicated his life to this whole thing.
Well,
So
and even though his content's much better than like a disc and these others, the problem even with his work is that it's not none of these tools, any of them, are accessible to all employees every day in their workflow seamlessly. What we've done is with APIs within Slack, within email, within virtual meetings, you can access information. So we call it the Grammarly of psychometrics. So you can write an email, literally, that's where Grammarly for psychometrics.
wow,
You write an
that's huge.
email, you push a button in your email, it rewrites the email based on the receiving person's psychometrics. You're in a virtual meeting. 10 people, you're pitching 10 VPs a new product launch. You don't know them. In the virtual meeting, Teams, Cisco WebEx, or Zoom, you push our button, it's already there, and it'll tell you the dynamics of the meeting. It'll tell you, Dave, everyone's decisive, you're deliberate. Speed it up. Dave, you're trying to influence Mary. Mary and you are only 10% similar. Here's what you need to do. So it's real live AI coaching. And you can even ask questions. How's the meeting going? How can I do better? Real live coaching in workflow. Move over, Copilot. Who the hell cares about a transcript after a meeting? That's nice. What about improving your meeting while you're in it? What about in an Outlook calendar invite, clicking on it before the meeting to know what you're about to walk into, that everyone's different than you, who's similar, who's going to butt heads with you. We bring to life all these wonderful tools and research by that researcher, by every researcher that has just been stagnant for the last 50 years.
Yeah,
And that's why we call it the Grammarly of psychometrics, because Grammarly, worth $5 billion. Guess what? They took
I love
information
Grammarly.
from the
I always
dictionary,
got Grammarly issues.
thesaurus, and grammar content for 500 years that nobody looked at. They brought it to life in workflow where people work. We've done that with psychometrics.
Boom. I mean,
Boom,
you
drop the
just
mic, brother.
drop the mic. Oh man, yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah, I mean, all these big players in the field, like strength finders. Strength finders is essentially Donald Clifton.
Yes,
Um, uh,
so yeah, Clifton Strain Founders, Disc,
yeah,
Berkman, Caliper, they were all co-students at Harvard way back in the 60s. All great tools, all great science, some better than others. Hogan's great, SHL, but they're never used. It's the biggest waste of investment corporate America's ever seen. Imagine if everyone gets to use insights from those contextually relevant at the time of need within workflow. That's what we've created. We call it basically what ChatGPT did to Google, right? Remember, like the more you use ChatGPT the last year, the less you're using Google. And this week, Google dropped 20% in their stock. Why? For the first time in 25 years, Google search lost searches. It went down, people searching. And it's because of ChatGPT. We are doing to the psychometric industry what ChatGPT did to Google, because nobody wants to click, read, and think or interpret psychometrics. Who has time? They just want to ask a question to a person, a thing, a sentient being that we call our coach, Ask Aura, and you get your answer exactly what you want. How do I motivate this team? I'm in my car. I just got promoted to a restaurant and I have a new team. I sit in the parking lot. I look at my phone. How do I motivate this new team? Any language in the world, 24/7.
it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing stuff, Juan. Mind blowing stuff. So, like, what's the process here? I need to give my team the different assessments, and then you're sending that assessment over to the AI coach, and
Easier.
they're
It's easier. So first we'll do a trial, right? If it's a large company, we'll do a trial with HR to a business unit lead, right? But let's say they've agreed, they like it. To get it implemented, it's very simple. In one day, a link goes from the executive sponsor to 5,000 employees. Hey, everybody, we have a new tool called Ask Aura by Human Intelligence. It's an AI coach that's going to help all the leaders, all the managers, and all the teams work better together, be more engaged, collaborate better, resolve conflict. And it's literally a coach you can ask any question. Look at this 1-minute demo. And now they've been trained. Because how hard is it to train somebody on ChatGPT? Pretty easy. Our tool's even easier because we already have the questions, right? So step one, link goes out in an email from the executive sponsor, CEO, or head of HR to, let's say, 5,000 employees. Everyone takes that psychometric instrument. Now, caveat there, if they've already taken an assessment, they can just upload it. So if they take an Ogun or DISC or Strength Finders, they can upload it into our platform. We're agnostic, but since 90% of employees have not taken one, usually they end up taking ours. Ours measures more than anybody else's, so they usually default with ours. But either upload what you have or take ours. That's step one, just through a link. 10-minute test. And now admin, the IT admin, clicks on a plugin in Microsoft Teams, SuccessFactors, Workday, Zoom, Outlook, whatever. And in 5 minutes, it's now been turned on. No software implementation needed. We've already built all the implementation and all the integrations. So it's already residing in the tools they already use. So a link goes out, 5,000 people take it on Monday. And on Tuesday, everyone can just go and ask this little, click on a button in any platform called Ask or a little butterfly, ask whatever question they have, or rewrite any email they have, or get insights on any meeting they're in instantly. So in 24 hours, 5,000 people by literally sending one email out and having people take this link. Now, there's usually change management needed, and companies have a slower rollout than that, but technologically, that's how simple it could be.
I mean, I feel like I need to have like some kind of sound effects on this where we're just like,
You need the Jim Cramer, go, 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 go.
oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's huge. The
It is
the
huge. It
impact that
literally,
has.
it will be the way that all personality test data, all psychometric insights will be consumed in the future. So leadership and development, coaches, talent management, they will either get on this boat and move to the future of where it's all headed or be left behind. Because with this, every employee can be engaged now. We solve engagement. Now you just ask Aura for any employee, how do I keep Dave engaged? Today, nobody can answer that question because nobody knows the motivators, the work energizers, and behaviors of every employee. This Ask Aura does, and it'll tell you what projects to give them and that you're giving them the wrong projects, or you can put the 5 you want to give them. It'll pick which one. So we solve engagement. We make every leader better. We do every onboarding better. Conflict resolution, everything goes away. Every email is better written, all personalized. Again, Copilot can't touch this. Copilot doesn't know anybody at your company. Any leadership or team dynamic insights that Copilot gives you is generic. And let me assure you, I worked 20 years outside the US after 22. And I led 30,000 people in Europe. And I can assure you that if you ask Copilot, how do I lead a team? Give me 5 things to do. The answer in France and the answer in the US would be diametrically opposed. And whatever you do in France would fail in the US and vice versa. Hence why you don't see many managers do that both ways. And so Copilot will never give you contextually relevant insights about collaboration, about team dynamics, about leadership, about how to motivate and engage one person, because it's all generic information. We're the first tool that personalizes performance management, that personalizes engagement, that personalizes onboarding.
Wow. Yeah, dude. I mean, that is just unbelievable. That is just unbelievable. Um,
Thank you,
it definitely
AI.
sounds like the
Thank you,
future.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like the future, and you know, those are the biggest issues I think I see. You know, employee engagement, all these different things you're talking about, and you know, create. You know, I think that a lot of us know that you know, having a diverse team creates a lot of innovation and definitely strengthens your problem solving consciousness, if you will. And having this
That right
to
there.
support them.
Even knowing if your team is diverse in thinking, forget diversity as race, gender. That ship has sailed and sunk. Okay, let's look at
I'm glad
diversity
you
where it
said
really
that.
counts.
You actually understand. Yeah.
Yeah, let's look at diversity where it counts. You have 5 black women in their 40s, or 5 white women in their 40s, or
It has
5 white
nothing to
men.
do with it.
You can still have conflict between a team of 5 black women, even though
Yeah.
they all understand the black experience or the Hispanic experience, right? If you have one decisive person and the others are deliberate, There's going to be conflict. Okay. If
Yeah.
the differences of behaviors, what motivates people and their work styles, that's what leads to conflict at work. We are allowing inclusivity to show up every employee at a time. So regardless of someone's color, race, religion, and look, we will help every employee understand each other and be open to everyone, regardless of race and gender. This is the ultimate umbrella of DEI, the way it should have been instituted at the beginning, so we all understand each other and not put us into tribal groups and create fighting. And so this is a beautiful platform that actually delivers on what DEI was trying to deliver on, without the charged, controversial things that did not work.
Dude, wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
I just,
Here's a question for Aura. Do I have diversity of thought on my team? And Aura will say, no, every one of your team, 9 of 10 people are decisive. Oh, who's the deliberate person? Mary. Oh, wow. Is that why Mary's not fitting in? Yeah, Mary doesn't fit in because every time she does something, like, this is where the rubber hits the road and understanding diversity of thought. I'm doing a project for change management. Who's the most change oriented person on this team to lead the project? Today, people just pick someone because they have free time. That person's miserable. Why don't you pick the person who's most change oriented? Imagine doing a change project with 1,000 employees. Who are the 5 people to lead this change management project of these 1,000 people who are the most change oriented? And in 2 seconds, it picks out the 5 names of 1,000 employees to lead your change management project. I mean, this solves things that McKinsey would charge you millions of dollars for. And by the way, it's only $1 or $2 per person per month, less than the price of a cup of coffee. And this is where I would shatter it and go.
yeah. Yeah. We should definitely have some like video and sound effects on this one. This episode is explosive. I mean,
It's explosive.
uh,
This is, and by the way, let's go back to your original premise and question. Is AI going to be doomsday and negative? In our world that we operate at Human Intelligence and Ask Aura, no, this makes everyone a better version of themselves. It makes every leader a better leader, every manager a better leader, every employee more agile and being able to work with more people. Like, what's a great basketball team or soccer team? When a soccer player can only use their right foot, well, then they're never getting out of complex situations. A basketball player who can only do a right side baseline shot? No. Those who can learn how to be left-handed and right-handed, the most agile players in sports and the most agile team members at a company, benefit everyone. We allow everyone to be more agile. We actually closed Accenture, 700,000 employees, because we went into the chief innovation officer. This leads to more agility across the board at every level at a company, leading to more innovation.
which is what everybody wants. I mean, it's like it's one of those things. Like I find I'm a pretty innovative person, but it's like there's this challenge around that, because as much as we say we want innovation, I mean, how many times have we seen Beauty and the Beast be just redone? It's like there's actually some people are actually kind of scared of new ideas, and so they pull back to what makes them feel comfortable, so they do like the same exact thing, just renditions of it.
It's subconscious. So since you have a recruiting background and so do I, I'll bring this to light. People are scared of change and they want to be comfortable. So what do people do when they hire? They hire in the final 5 candidates the person that everyone likes the most. Well, what if you do that for 10 years and you have a team of 10 people? Everyone's going to think and look like yourself. Well, does that lead to agility and different problem solving and different thoughts? No. The right answer would actually be, who did we not get along with, who did not answer like us in the final 5 candidates? Like, if they all had the right resume, because final 5, they all probably can do the job. Now it's about personality fit. And the answer today that people take is, let me go with what's easiest, who sounds like me, thinks like me, that kind of finishes my sentences. Who do we like in the final 5? For better diversity of thinking and better agility and better problem solving, hence innovation, it's actually better to go with the person who's most different from the team. Ask Aura, you literally can say of the final 5 candidates, who is most different for culture add? Because when you start to hire a more balanced team with data through an Ask Aura, not through subjectivity of who you like the most, you actually be more innovative. So what's happening by default, to your point, is everyone feeling comfortable and hiring who they like leads to a death of innovation because everyone thinks the same way.
Completely agree. Completely agree. I mean,
I ran out of things to drop. I dropped the mic, the coffee mug, I dropped
I
my
just not
phone.
enough stuff. It's not enough stuff to drop. There's not enough
Too
stuff.
many drop moments.
I'm, I'm gonna start dropping plates soon. I got nothing left. I got. It's funny. But yeah, I mean, that is so huge, huge. I mean, I wrote an article like years ago. Um, what plants can teach us about recruiting and diversity, and I thought it was like innovative and different. But again, I'm very like different. So some people got it, some people didn't. But what I was talking about is the Irish potato famine. And actually, what happened was now it's potato famine. What the problem was this monoculture of potatoes. There's one type, no diversity. We're saying no, blue, red potatoes and everything. And the solution was they went to different countries because they were in Ireland, Irish potato famine. So they went to different countries, Peru and different areas, and they got these different potatoes. Because of the diversity, because of all those things like that, it solved the problems, that they had. So yeah, I thought it was a cool
That's interesting.
article.
And great article, and very timely you mentioned that this week, because as you know, the Pope in Spanish is the Papa, el Papa. And I just saw a meme where it said, and Peru is known for all its different potatoes and how they use them. And there was a
Yeah.
meme that had all the potatoes of Peru, todos papas de Peru, and it had like 20 different potatoes, and at the end a picture of the Pope, el Papa. And the Vatican wants more diversity, and so the last two popes have come from the Americas, and so the U.S. Pope is also a citizen of Peru, even though he didn't grow up there, which is
Cool.
ironic.
I mean, that's amazing. Wow. Well, I mean, I think if we're gonna continue this episode, I might have to, like I said, break some plates or something. I don't know. So I think we're gonna we might have to end
Well,
this
You're
episode.
Greek, so you're used to breaking plates and saying "Opa."
Bye bye. Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah, this is very entertaining, Juan. I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Well, it's
And
exciting, right? Like I'm making every workplace more fun, more engaging. I'm reducing turnover, having people not have conflict, having people get along with their bosses. Imagine asking the Aura before you start working the week of, what's my boss's leadership style like? How can I best engage my boss with a problem? And it's just answering each question. How do I ask my boss for a raise? Like, I'm scared of working with Mary. What do I do? Any question that we have, and we all have these questions, are now going to be answered for all employees, not just by the $30,000 executive coach that the leaders get. Now, everybody gets that $30,000 coach, but she's better. She's smarter. She has access to all information in the world, instantly 24/7, contextually relevant to you, to me, to everyone. Ask Aura.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, you heard it here first on the Growth Mindset podcast. Thank you so much, Juan, for jumping on here and talking to us today. Um, as we close for today, is there any kind of final words, final encouragement, or anything you want to say? And also, how can they find you? How can they find
They
you?
can go to, they can email me at juan@humanintelligence.com. So there's no IN in the middle, or they can go to askaura, AURA.ai, to learn more about our product of the AI coach for leadership, managers, team collaboration, and coaching. Or you can go to my LinkedIn. I use my middle name there because Juan Betancourt is so common, but I am the only person and top of the list with Juan Luis Betancourt. That's Luis, no O. So that's how they can find me. Happy to have my team do a demo for anybody. This is the future of psychometrics, of work, and it's happening now with AI and Ask Aura, who can help everybody.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much again, Juan. We're going to close this off for today. Thanks for stopping into the Growth Mindset podcast. Until next time, guys.
Cheers. Thank you for having me, Dave.
You got it.